Good morning, students. I am teaching social studies of 7th standard. I already began the lesson. So, who was the founder of Bahmanese dynasty? Alauddin Hassan Gangu Bahman Shah. Okay. Okay, next question. Who was the most important king among the Bahmani kingdoms? Tajuddin Firoz Shah. Okay, he was the most important king among them. Then, who was the most popular prime minister of Bahmanis? Muhammad Gawan. Okay, he built madrasa in which place? He built madrasa in Bidar, and it is said that more than 3,000 manuscripts were there in the library, isn't it? So, yeah. So, see here, till Muhammad Gawan was there, Bahmani kingdom was strong. After that, the successors of Muhammad III were not strong. Therefore, this kingdom was divided into 4 parts. Okay, and Shahi dynasty started ruling various parts of this Bahmani kingdom. Okay, I already told you that Bahmani kingdom was broken into 5 states of Shahis: Adil Shahs of Vijaypur, Barish Shahs of Bidar, then Qutub Shahs of Golkand, Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar, then Imad Shahs of Berer. Okay, I already taught you the Adil Shahis of Vijaypur or Bijapur. Their most important ruler was Ibrahim Adil Shah II. He was known as Jagat Guru Badshah. Why he was known like that? Because he tried to integrate both Hindus and Muslims, and he wrote a very famous book called Kitab-i Navaras. It was a book on music. In that he praised Hindu gods Ganapati, Saraswati, Bhairava and others, and he also built Ibrahim Roja. Okay, it is a famous architecture built by him. Okay, I told about this Adil Shahis of Vijapur. Till there I taught you. Now today let me tell you about the important kings of other Shahis. Okay, today let me tell you about Bari Shahis of Shahas of Bidar. See here, Bari Shahs started ruling from Bidar and its surrounding areas. Okay, Qasim Barid was the founder of this dynasty. After him, Ibrahim and his brother Qasim began ruling Bidar, but they were incompetent. So, therefore, after them, see here, because of the incompetence of and there was an inner conflict between the members of royal family. Therefore, this Shahi dynasty of Bidar get declining. Okay, and Bari Shah kingdom, by seeing this, Ibrahim Adil Shah of Bijapur captured Bidar. Thus, Bidar merged within Adil Shahis of Bijapur. Okay, so let me ask the question: who was the founder of Shahi dynasty, Bari Shahi dynasty of Bidar? Qasim Barid. Okay. The next one is next Shahi, that is Qutub Shahs of Golconda. Golconda is today located in Telangana region. Okay, Kuli Qutub Shah was the founder of this Golconda state. He ruled the state with good administration, and in 1543 he was killed by his own son. See, though he was a good administrator, okay, he was killed by his own son. Okay, in Muslim sultans, we are able to see power is more important than the relationship, family member relationship. Say, therefore, the father was get killed by his own son. Then afterwards, Ibrahim was another important ruler. He had compassion for Hindu religion, and there were many Hindu officers in his administration. During his rule, he made Golconda a beautiful city. He changed his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad. See here, he built up a good relationship with Hindu people, and he changed his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad in 1589. After him, Abdul Qutub Shah, Abdul Hassan and others came to power, but they were incompetent kings. So later, Golconda surrendered to Mughals. Okay, when Mughals attacked in South India, and these Qutub Shahs of Golconda surrendered to the Mughals. Okay, I hope you understood. Thus, Qutub Shahs of Golconda merged within Mughal Empire. Okay. The next one is Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar. Ahmednagar is in Maharashtra. The rulers of this kingdom ruled from 1490 to 1636. Okay, in 1490 century, Malik Ahmad, who was the chief of Junnur province, founded his own state of Ahmednagar and established Nizam Shah dynasty. Here, Malik Ahmad was the founder of this dynasty. Okay, he took Daulatabad under his control and expanded empire. Here, he captured Daulatabad and expanded his empire. Burhan, Hussein Nizam Shah, Murtaza were sultans just for namesake. Means after him, other sultans also came there like Burhan, Hussein Nizam. All these were only for the namesake. With the death of Chand Bibi, Ahmednagar, this Nizam Shah is declined, and later in 1637 century, during the period of Shah Jahan, Mughal king Ahmednagar was merged into the Mughal state. Okay, again here, Mughals captured when Shah Jahan was the emperor. At that time, this Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar was merged within Mughal Empire. I hope you understood. So, who was the founder of Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar? Malik Ahmad. Okay. Okay. Now let me move towards another Imad Shahis of Berer. Okay. After the fall of Bahmani kingdom, 5 sultan states came to existence. Okay, I already told you Shahi, they were called as Shahi dynasties. Okay, but among the here, after the fall of here, 5 sultan states came to existence. Imad Shah dynasty of Berer is one among them. Here, Imad Shah dynasty. It was situated between Pen Ganga and Vain Ganga rivers at Wardha. Here, Wardha is in Maharashtra. This kingdom was located in between Pen Ganga and Vain Ganga rivers at Wardha, Tapti to the north of Bidar. Okay, in 1490, Fatullah founded this dynasty. Elichapur was their capital. Here, Fatullah founded this dynasty. Fatullah had a title called Imad ul Mulk. Okay, he had a title. He got the title Imad ul Mulk. After his death, his son Alauddin Imad Shah came to the power. he was an incompetent king. So here, if the king becomes incompetent, then his dynasty may vanish. After him, his son Darya Imad Shah came to the power, and even during his rule, also Barid dynasty continued its battle with neighboring states. See, Imad Shah dynasty had to continue so many battles, wars with neighboring states. After the death of Darya Imad Shah, his little son Buran Imad Shah took the power. During his rule, power came to the hands of usurper called Tapail Khan. Later, Barar dynasty fell into the hands of Vijaypur Sultans. Here, in this king, Imad Shah is also, many kings were incompetent. Therefore, later on, this kingdom was captured by the Vijaypura Sultans. So, among five Shahi, among five Shahis, Adil Shahis of Vijaypur, more or less very powerful. What they have done, they captured the Bidar and Barer, of Bari Shahs and Imad Shahs and merged them within their kingdom. On the other hand, Qutub Shahs and Nizam Shahs, Golconda and Ahmadnagar merged within Mughal Empire. It shows that Adil Shahs were somewhat more powerful and prominent as compared to other poor Shahs or other poor Shah dynasties. I hope you understood this part, and let me continue. What are the contributions of Adil Shahs? Now let us know about the Adil Shahs. Adil Shah they ruled from Vijaypur. During the reign of 200 years, Adil Shahs of Vijaypur contributed a lot to the field of education, literature, music, fine arts, art and sculpture. Adil Shahis, they ruled more than nearly 200 years. They contributed a lot in the field of education, music, fine arts, sculpture. Now let us try to understand what is their contribution in the field of education and literature. So Adil Shahs were great lovers of education and they encouraged it. Their education policy was to develop a Islamic culture. They gave more importance for Islamic culture, and so Muktaba or mosque and madrasa were the educational centers. Here mainly Quran and the Islamic culture was taught in those educational centers. Knowledge, religion, law, poetry and others were taught. Here even poetry was taught, law, about law also was also taught. Educational institutions were under king's patronage. Means king gave shelter to those mosques and madrasas, and because of that only Islamic knowledge was provided during that time. Now let me come to the literature. The contribution of Adil Shah to the literature is very prominent. Literature became very rich in this period because kings themselves were the poets. Many kings belonging to Adil Shahis, they themselves were the poet. They were composing some poems. Many books were written in Persian, Arabic, Urdu and Kannada languages. Here in four languages literature developed there. So for example, in Persian poet, who was the Persian poet during that time? Perista, he wrote Tariq-e Perista and Gulshan-e Ibrahim. Next, Urdu poets Abdul, he wrote Ibrahim's Nama. Okay, Ibrahim Nama was a book written by Abdul. Then Mullah Nasrat wrote Ali Nama and Kannada poet. So even Kannada language flourished there. So the important poet belongs to that time was Narahari of Toravi. He wrote Toravi Ramayana. Okay, perhaps your Kannada teacher may give more information about Toravi Ramayana. Okay, then let me come to the next thing. Okay, that is music. So now let us see the music during the time of Adil Shahs of Bijapur. Ali Adil Shah and Ibrahim Adil Shah II were great musicians. Okay, Ibrahim Adil Shah, I already told you, one of the great ruler. He wrote a book called Kitab-i-Navaras. It is about music. He opened a music school also. Women of royal and rich families were interested in music. Here, royal family and rich families, women were also interested in music. Okay, so music was developed. Okay, during the Adil Shahis of Bijapur. Next, fine arts. Ibrahim II was a fine artist, means he was interested even in drawing. His court had many Persian artists. Beautiful paintings of flowers, plants, creeper and other nature scenes were painted on their houses. Here, painting related to nature was there. Okay, we are able to see the paintings, drawings related to that period on the mosques and even on the floors. These paintings help to know the aspirations, interests and traditions of the people. See, we can come to know that what was their interest, okay, what was their aesthetic outlook towards life, we can come to through this. Then art and sculpture. In the history of art and sculpture of Karnataka, they built the buildings of Adil Shahis of Vijaypur are the important ones. They built forts, palaces, mosques and tombs. See, if you move towards Vijaypur or Kalburgi or Bidar, you are able to see many forts and monuments related to their period. First, fort. The fort of Vijaypur is big one. It has 96 bastions, means the dome which were built on fort. Means 96 domes it has got, the Vijaypur fort, and 6 main entrances. Okay, this is one of the magnificent fort. Then palaces. Gagan Mahal in 1620, it was built by Ibrahim Adil Shahi. It has 3-storied towers, means it has got 3 stories. Gagan Mahal, see here, Gagan Mahal is here. Then Mehtar Mahal, it is also a 3-storied palace. Ibrahim Adil Shah II built it. It is famous for its fine and delicate decorations. And in Asar Mahal, then another construction called Asar Mahal is there. Rooms have different paintings painted on them. Okay, so then mosques. Okay, which are the other mosques? Now let me tell you. Mosque Jama Masjid. Okay, Ali Adil Shah built it. It is famous for its very wide prayer hall, and it is common building without any decorations. It has different new style among other art monuments. See here, Ali Adil Shah built Jama Masjid. It is also one of the famous building. Then Ibrahim Roza. Ibrahim Roza was built by Adil Shah II in memory of his wife Taj Begum in Vijaypur. It has the tombs of Ibrahim and his relatives. Even the tombs of him and his relatives, Ibrahim Adil Shahi's second tomb is also there, his relatives. It is the only It is the only Roja in India. It is called as the Taj Mahal of South India. So if suppose the mosque and the tomb are built, okay, if suppose mosque and the tomb are built on elevated, means high platform with a garden around them, then the and compound wall, then it is called Rosa. It is the only Rosa. See in Rosa both we are able to see both mosque and tomb along with garden surrounding it. So next important building is construction of that period is Gol Gumbaj. Muhammad decided to build something that is even bigger and greater than Rosa. So he built Gol Gumbaj dome, a domed tomb in 1656 century at Vijaypur. See, it is the most attractive building. People go there to see, especially this. It has a big dome with a whispering chamber inside. It is said that 11 times, if one time we speak, 11 times it makes echo there. It is a fine example for technology of that time. It is the fourth largest dome in the world. Here, it is the Gol Gumbaj is the fourth largest dome in the world and first largest in India. Okay. Then other important monuments are Bara Kaman, okay, Bade Kaman, Anand Mahal, Upli Buruj, Taj Baudi, Chand Baudi, and other monuments also there. Okay. So see here Jumma Mosque of Vijaypur, Maliki Maidan, it is a Pirangi. Okay, these were some of the important, even Baudis are there. Big Baudis means the big lakes are there to provide the water there, to provide water and irrigation. So these are the important constructions, okay, monuments related to that period. That is the end of the lesson. So you read this lesson and try to answer the question that which comes after this. Okay, I think this is enough today. Thank you. Good day.